Welcome to Home Farm. Kirsten's pushing on with the Christmas decorations today, and I'm going to share my recipe for Christmas gammon with you. It's very easy to make. It is a slow cooker, but it is absolutely delicious. The cooking process for this gammon takes place in two stages. The first one is boiling the actual gammon itself. For that, you're going to need some leeks and some celery. I actually had it down to our vegetable garden where we've still got these growing, and I've picked these fresh. They smell absolutely incredible. You'll also need some bay leaves, some vinegar, and mustard seeds. The mustard seeds are optional, but they do add an extra element to the actual gammon. And obviously, we've got our star ingredient, which is the gammon itself. This is a free-range, 1 kilogram unsmoked joint, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing. Once the gammon is boiled, we're going to glaze and bake it. For the glaze, I like to use a little bit of premium soya sauce, agave, but you can use honey or brown sugar, and we're going to be using whole cloves for studding. But the first thing that we've got to do is get the gammon boiling, so we're going to just chop our leeks, we're going to chop our celery. I'm going to use all of these leaves because they just add more flavor. Let's get stuck in. So we've rough chopped the veg. I've got a pot which is big enough for our joint, and I've filled it with enough water to completely cover the gammon once it's submerged. The next step is to actually take it out and simply drop it in the water. We're now simply going to add all of the celery and the leeks to the pot, submerging all of them, making sure that they are all under the water. Bay leaves going on either side. I like to add a splash of vinegar to the water. Just helps offset some of that saltiness from the gammon. And the optional extra, just a small sprinkle of mustard seeds. Now that everything's in the pot, we're simply going to put a lid on it. We're going to bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to drop the temperature and we're going to let it simmer and boil for about 2 hours. While the gammon boils, we're going to make the glaze. We're going to add 50 mils of dark premium soya sauce, 2 teaspoons of agave, or if you're using honey, probably also about 2. It just cuts through the saltiness of the soya. And we're also going to add 1 teaspoon, in fact 2 teaspoons of vinegar. Now it's important that you mix this all together very well because the agave or the honey doesn't mix through the soya very easily. So this probably takes about 1 or 2 minutes. Just make sure that you just stir it through and that you have a sauce or a glaze that isn't very thick. Give it a taste. You're going to have that lovely umami flavor where you've got the saltiness that comes through first from the soya. It's then followed by the sweetness of the agave or the honey and the acidity from the vinegar, which is absolutely fantastic, and it works so beautifully with gammon. Our gammon has now simmered for about 2.5 hours. I tend to find that for gammons of about 1 kilogram, the 2 to 2.5 hour mark is just perfect. If you let it cook for much longer than that, it's going to start to get really stringy. It's almost going to become like pulled pork, which is also cool. This is the stage that you're going to be the most careful because we're now going to take it out of this boiling hot water. And we're going to put it into, I'm going to put it into a cast iron pan. I just tend to find that using some tongs and just having a fork just to prop it up is great. So we're just going to put it there like that. When you buy gammon, they've always got this layer of fat. Now's the time to cut that off. So we basically cook with it on, but we cut it off now. So we take off that big bit there. Just have a bowl handy so you can throw it away. We're going to leave this layer of fat on here because that's going to bronze and render down when we put it in the oven. And that's just going to add a little bit of flavor, but you just want to get that thick skin off, which sometimes can stay at the bottom. So just make sure you get it all out. Next, we're going to stud our gammon with cloves. So just get a whole stack of cloves ready. And I like to put them into the fat because it allows them to seep into the meat and it just adds a lot of flavor. Take your time with this because the more you get in here, the more it's going to infuse the actual flavor into the actual gammon itself. And to finish it, we're going to take our glaze with a spoon, just pour it over. There's always little cracks and nooks throughout the gammon. Take your time pouring the glaze over it so that it actually gets into the little crevices, because that is just going to add a lot of flavor to this actual gammon. And make sure that you get as much of it over the surface of the meat as possible. This is now going to go into the oven at 180 degrees centigrade fan for about 20 to 25 minutes. So that's it. We've had the gammon in the oven for 25 minutes. I've taken it out, let it cool down for about 15 minutes. I've taken all the cloves out. It smells absolutely incredible. The bottom of it is caramelized beautifully. The sides of the meat is just firmed up ever so slightly, but it's going to be really moist and juicy on the inside. The fat on the side has rendered. It looks and smells amazing. Kirsten's been slogging away today, getting all of the Christmas decorations ready. So I think it's time for a bit of sustenance. So Kirsten, you want some gammon?
It's ready.
It's ready.
It smells amazing.
It does smell amazing. It smells very Christmassy. I think it's just the cloves and everything.
It always reminds me of Christmas.
Oh, it's just so amazing. What do you think?
Wow.
1 kilogram of gammon would be fantastic with lunches and maybe even my pizza tonight.
Oh, yeah, very nice. Yeah, no, I love it for lunches with some hot mustard.
There you go, yourself. The bottom of it's really caramelized.
Oh, it's crunchy looking.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow.
Juicy.
That is amazing.
Amazing. I love this.
It's very delicious. It's one of my favourite things to have, and especially around the holidays when you just want something in the fridge that's sort of a go-to. You've got friends or family, people drop by. Not that we'll have that this year with COVID, but normally, and to be able to just have that in the fridge and be able to pull it out and put some cheese out and have something ready to go straight away. Even for us actually, if we're busy, you know, on days like today when we're doing a lot of Christmas decorating, to be able to just walk into the kitchen and have some cheese and some homemade bread.
A lovely snack.
It is a delicious meal. Right, well I better get back to my Christmas decorating.
Yeah. You've put in, Kirsten's put a lot of work in this year with her Christmas decorations.
Yeah, it's looking really
house
festive.
is just transforming on an hourly basis. So we're going to be putting together some videos this year of the Christmas makeover of all the various rooms.
Yeah, I hope so, and I hope you'll get to see that. We'll do. We've done the fireplaces. We've dressed our Victorian fireplaces, and we've also done the hallway. So it's a Victorian farmhouse.
The wreath's looking amazing.
Yeah, so we've injected a bit of a country rural feel to the decorations this year, and just got 2 more Christmas trees to go and maybe a wreath or 2, but it's going to be a bump year for Christmas decorations, but it's going to look gorgeous.
I think so. And we're going to start putting those videos together, so if you don't want to miss out on actually seeing those, please subscribe and ring the bell so that you can definitely check those out.
Yeah, I hope you'll be able to see them and enjoy them, and it will give you some ideas for maybe next year and some festive spirit.
Amazing. So that's a wrap. Thanks very much for watching this video, and we'll see you on our next one.
Bye.
Bye.